Hello guys, so we are here again for another Manga Haul. The last Manga Haul was last month, exactly a month ago, and since then I've gotten quite a few of new volumes that I want to show you guys. So let's just begin. First one is Natsume Book of Friends, Volume 23. This series has been coming out very slowly, but I've always kept up with it. Just getting the few volumes they come out every month. Not every month. I'm not sure how they come out, but yeah. I've always enjoyed the anime of Natsume Book of Friends, and the manga it has been a nice read since then. Yeah. That's my Book of Friends, Volume 23. Next up, I got The Promised Neverland, Volume 13, the continuation to this series. I'm not really gonna open this because I'm not sure how far to the end we are. I don't want to spoil anything or spoil myself. But yeah, Volume 13 of Promised Neverland. Next up, I got quite a few volumes of Magi. This one is volume 37. I've been collecting this like very sparingly. I not in any order at all. I've just been buying those that are cheaper. I tend to do that, and I planned on buying the whole series, but I'm not really in a hurry, so I guess I'll just buy what is cheaper at the moment. So volume 37, volume 4 of Maggie, volume 1. I already got quite a few, but this series has ended, but I'm not even close to having all the volumes. I think that's from Maggie. I think that's all I got. I don't really have the manga here in order, so as you can see, I have Promised Neverland, volume 11 here, and I've shown before volume 12, if I'm not mistaken. No, it was actually 13, so I should have. Oh, sorry, this is 14. I read it wrong. But yeah, same thing as the other. I'm not going to open this because of spoilers. Next up, as the same thing as Maggie, I've been collecting Haikyu very slowly, and as the books become cheaper, I just get a new volume. And I got volume 26 of Haikyu. Again, I've watched the anime, and I've heard from a lot of people that this series is great. I'm a fan of sports manga, and I intend to also collect all the volumes of this series. Hopefully it won't take long, and then I'll be able to read everything. Next up, I got 3 volumes of Kaguya-sama Love is War, volume 11. I've been reading this very slowly too, and since the quarantine it's been nice to have something to read like this. So yeah, volume 11, volume 12. I think the anime is also airing again, the second season if I'm not mistaken. It's pretty good if you enjoy this series. And lastly, volume 13. Since I haven't, the last few months I haven't been collecting much. This month I got a lot of them, and I was able to get 3 volumes of Kaguya-sama. Before I was always up to date on them, so it's nice to have 3 volumes to read. Next up, I got One Punch Man, volume 18. Um, this series, I was a big fan of the manga and the anime, but uh, I mean, I still enjoy this. I've I've just been reading another stuff, and this has been slowly failing back on my TBR. But it's such a quick read, and when I feel like it, I just read like 3 volumes in a go. So yeah, it's also nice to have. Next up, I got Komi-san Can Communicate, Volume 3. Yeah, I always enjoy having this series, kind of slice of lifey. This is another great series I've been reading. It's quite new, but most people know about this right now. So yeah, Komi-san Volume 3. Next up, I got another 2 volumes of a series that I've been wanting to read. I've said before that I was going to start, but yeah, well, stuff happens, and I still haven't started this series. It's 20th Century Boys, from Naoki Urasawa. I've got all the volumes from 5 to 1, I guess 6 to 1. I mean. Yeah, I'm not sure how many there are, or how many there will be, but I'll probably start reading this when it gets close to the end of the releasing the volumes. It's also a nice series to have on the shelf. I really like the spines when they all come together. Yeah, some people prefer the singles. I mean, I don't mind having in this format. But yeah, the singles are also nice. Next up, I got 2 expensive volumes. Kind of expensive, but definitely worth it. I got Berserk, Volume 3. Yeah, well, I've been reading this slowly. I've read the manga. I've seen the anime, so I know what happens in these volumes. I know it's not the same. The manga is much more. I've noticed that it has much more detail and more stuff in the story that doesn't appear on the anime, and that's a nice thing because, well, I as I said, I've seen the anime, but it's always nice to have something new that you haven't seen and following the story. So yeah, I got Berserk Volume 3, and of course I got also Volume 4 on Berserk. Yeah, the same thing. The other one I was actually reading. I'm sure you saw the bookmark. I was on that page. But yeah, this series has been great. If you enjoy Berserk, definitely get the deluxe editions. They look amazing on the shelf, especially if you have those Billy. I got mine in black, so it looks pretty awesome on my shelf. I'll probably do a collection haul soon, probably after this video. And you can see, I only have 4 volumes, but they're starting to look nice on the shelves. I have a space for them. Next up, I got Volume 2 of The Way of the Husband from Kosuke Ono. I haven't read this volume. I've read the first volume and it was very nice. I really enjoyed the comedy on this manga. And yeah, as I've said this before, I enjoy those types of manga that have those delinquents and type yakuza and that stuff. It's always a fun read. So if you know Boichi on the what was it, the Senken Rock, you know what I mean. I mean that type of fighting and gangster manga. It's always a thing I enjoy reading. And yeah. Next up is Tomo-chan is a Girl, Volume 6. Again, I really enjoy these volumes that are slice of life. Goes very well in between the series. And I kinda enjoy these small books. I mean, it's nice to have around. It doesn't weigh much. As is a 4 manga and still keeps going and going, and it's pretty decent to read if you enjoy this type of stuff. Next up is a series that I decided to start. To be honest, I wasn't going to buy this series, but yeah, I mean, why not? I just bought it, and let's see how it comes from here. It's Dededede Demon's Destruction from Inyo-san, the author of Goodnight Punpun, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I have the first volume of Goodnight Punpun. I like the art style. I'm kind of a sucker for good art style and drawings that are pretty good. So that was also one of the reasons I got this. Hopefully it will be nice. I'll read the first volume, and if I decide to get more, I guess. If I decide it's good, I'll get more. So yeah. Next up is a series that I'm also slowly getting, but I just got 3 volumes of this series. It's another sports manga. It's Real from Takehiko Inoue, a great mangaka. I haven't read about this anything. I know it's wheelchair basketball. Kind of interesting, to be honest, to know how the game will play and how the story will develop. I think it got me interested, and yeah, I'm planning on getting all the volumes. Especially it's Takehiko Inoue. You know, if you know Vagabond and Slam Dunk, it's probably going to be good. I've heard good things about this from the people in the community, so I'm not really. It's probably going to be good, and yeah, I got 3 volumes. So this is volume 5 of Real, and I had volume 7 and 6. I'll probably get more next month. We'll see. Maybe not, because I'll read the 7 volumes I have and check how it is. I'll probably get all of them, but for now, I think this is enough since I haven't read the first one. So yeah, I'm trying to just stick to the series I have and trying to finish the series I have right now, and not go overboard on buying new series that I will like, but yeah, I'll try to finish the ones I have first. Maybe when I finish one, I'll get a new one of another series. So, and actually this next volume it's the last volume of Happiness from Shuzo Oshimi. I'm not going to open a lot of pages of this. I'm not going to show you a lot because this is the last volume, and I know people don't like to see this stuff, but the cover is pretty nice. I've always loved the type of covers they have on this series. It's like I'm not sure how do you say this in English, but yeah, this type of painting, it's pretty cool. It looks awesome on the covers. I think it's Tokyo Ghoul, if I'm not mistaken, that also has. It's similar. I have volume here. It's similar, but yeah, I really enjoy this type of covers. And yeah, this manga was pretty good. But I think I still enjoyed more Flowers of Evil than this one. But yeah, it was nice. Next up, I got To Your Eternity, Volume 2. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I had read this, but yeah, I've read this. To be honest, I'm getting a little sidetracked with this story. It's quite some time from one book to another, so I'm getting a little bit lost on the story. But maybe I'll try to read from the beginning and catch up on some stuff. But yeah, this series is nice. I've enjoyed it a lot. Let's see how it goes from here. I'm not sure how many volumes there are, but yeah. It also, this volume had a nice. The end was nice. It was like it was one of those ends that you want to see read the next one. So yeah, let's see how it comes on the next volume. Next up, I got a series that I very, very, very love. I mean, it's probably underrated, but I always enjoy this. It's Delicious Dungeon by Ryoko Kui. I mean, if you like D&D and food, this manga is like a breath of fresh air. It's something nice to read, something different. I've read the whole 6 volumes and I've enjoyed them. It's also a series that I tend to. I mean, I don't binge it, but you start to read it and you get to a point that you get not full, but how can I say this? It's enough for you to read, and you're satisfied. You know what I mean. You get satisfied to that point, and you can leave the book on your desk and come back later, and you still get to be satisfied by this series. It's a thing that is happening when I read this series. It's not that I don't enjoy this series, and that's why I'm not binging it. But it's a nice series that you can pause and read on your own time. The last volumes I got, it's actually light novels. I got Monogatari series. It's not manga, but I decided to show here anyways. It's the Monogatari series box set, as you can see. I've always enjoyed this. As you probably know by now, I enjoy watching anime. And the anime, to be honest, at the beginning I wasn't into it, but then I started watching and I became a fan of this series. And yeah, I decided to get the box sets, which are coming out right now. I got the first one, and now this one. As you can see, also get some nice things. I can show you, I guess, the whole volumes if you want to see the covers. They are pretty cool. To be honest, I'm not sure. One thing when I get this out of the box, I'm not sure how the order of this is. So I didn't want to take this out, but I think the covers are worth showing. And yeah, it's a light novel, so pretty much just letters. I'm pretty sure there's some art. As you can see, there's some art, but it's pretty much just letters, which is nice from time to time. Yeah, as you can see, the covers are pretty cool, and also the box itself, it's quite nice. Looks amazing on the shelves. Yeah. And yeah, this is all the volumes I got this month. Quite a few more than last month, and probably I'm not going to get as much next month, but we'll see how much I get. If I find some good deals, I'll probably get some more. But for now, I have enough manga to read. So yeah, thank you for watching, and see you next time.